Happy Monday. So I hope every one of us had a good weekend, but let's get back to another guest because of a new day. Let's welcome Mara on 10 Minutes of Hiring Wisdom, who is an in-house recruiter with a full hiring experience from high-volume entry-level positions to executive-level positions themselves. She is based on finding the right talent for the right company because she understands how the right talent makes a company succeed. Let's welcome Mara on 10 Minutes of Hiring Wisdom, where she will tell us about where she works, what her role is within the company, and what advice she has for job seekers out there. Hi, Myra. How are you doing today?
Hi, Manal. I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much. So, how was your weekend? Did anything fun?
Yeah, it was a long weekend. Got to spend some time going upstate. Really enjoyed it.
Okay, that sounds wonderful. So, Mara, can you tell us about where you work, what your company does?
Sure, I'm here today. I work for RapidSOS, which is an emergency technology startup based out of New York City, and we do some really cool things. In short, we have revitalized and updated the 911 industry. Public safety, in partnership with public safety, we do work with enterprises to make sure that their products link to emergency services, so that way folks can get the help that they need pretty quickly. So we work with some really great clients like Apple, Google, Uber, etc. If you use an iPhone, we're definitely in all of those, which is really great. And yeah, we're really here to help people get responses from police, fire, ambulances a lot quicker.
So, I'm just curious, where did the idea come from? Because 911 has already existed for quite a while. So, why do you think there was a need for such a product to exist in the market where one product already existed?
Yeah, so that's where, everyone asks me this question, and it's really great. Yes, 911 existed before us, but 911 wasn't as modern as it could be. 911 was designed decades ago. So if you call 911 today in the system as it's designed, you get 500 plus bytes of data. Comparing that to a telegram, I think the first telegram that was sent out in the 1800s, they had about 600 bytes of data. So you don't even get as much information. You don't really get a holistic view of the caller. What you're getting is basically the latitude and longitude of the cell phone tower that your phone is pinging off of and the city and state. But I want to know where you are, why you're calling, have a really holistic view of what is going on with you. So if you're in a moving vehicle and having an incident, I want 911 to be able to see that I'm actually moving in a vehicle. As I mentioned before, Uber is one of our clients. You can literally see within our Rapid portal a breadcrumb trail of where the caller is moving to. You can see the radius of other callers to help prevent flooding of 911. So what we did was we took all of the headaches and the hiccups within 911 and we came up with creative solutions for it. And that is our product, our Rapid portal. So
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
No, that sounds amazing. I think specifically because when you call 911, usually there are emergencies involved. So you don't really know where you are at because your mind's not processing the
You
information
think
itself.
911 has all of that information, but they don't. Or now
Yeah,
they do because of us.
exactly. So that sounds wonderful because I think if I'm panicking and everything, I will not know where I'm at. I would there are things that I won't process usually if I'm in a normal position. So it definitely makes sense and I can definitely see the use of that. So hats off to you to creating something that would definitely make a difference. So
Well,
thank
that's
you.
my team. I'm just the recruiter.
Of course. So, Mara, I'd love to hear your perspective. So, a lot of people, a lot of Americans specifically, are quitting their jobs. A lot of people are seeking new opportunities and everything. Because you're a recruiter, you've been in this field for quite a while. Why do you think so many people are willing to change their jobs these days?
Well, think about last year. Everyone wanted to hunker down, right? I definitely think the pandemic played a large role in why we're seeing, the quitting renaissance, the great, resignation, some people are calling it. But I think it also plays a part in how people were living their lives while in quarantine. The time that they, didn't spend commuting, they were now spending with their family or cooking dinner or, taking on a project that was meaningful to them. So as we go back into the workforce, we want to move and gravitate towards companies that follow our ideals, that follow our vision, that can work within that lifestyle. RapidSOS is a really great company. Half of our team is remote, so we do have some flexibility. Not all of our employees are based here. We are currently operating at remote capacity, until next year, where we'll have some more changes. But we really take you and your needs and what you can contribute to the company, and we put that first before what desk you're physically sitting in. So I think that is something that's really important. And others are thinking about that too. And, that really does play a big part in why people are shifting. They want to make sure that they can have that true work-life balance. So many companies say work-life balance, but they really want that work-life balance with more life and a little less work. And that for that, I think finding that right role is really important.
That makes sense. I love how the tables have turned. At first, it used to be an employee market, but now it's a candid market because candidates know what they're capable of, what they deserve, and they're not willing to settle on anything less. So it's amazing just because I think a pandemic in which they were forced into the transition and everything, they realized, okay, this is something that we can do with, and this where our productivity is still increasing. We're still working. So why not actually apply for jobs that would make a difference? So thank you for sharing that. So, Mara, I'd love to hear if your company is hiring, what kind of positions are open, and are you open to global hiring or are you preferring people within the US?
Really great questions. Yes, 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 yes. We are hiring. I would encourage anyone who's interested in us to check out our website, rapidsos.com. Of course, if you want our careers, rapidsos.com/careers, and you can see what we have open. As we're growing and expanding our company, we're definitely looking for folks in the implementation space, in the engineering space, in the data science space. You asked about global positions. Our data science team is actually all located in Argentina. So if you're interested in that type of role and you live in Argentina, please contact us. We'd be really interested. But yes, we're open to both business and engineering, and even our public safety side as well. Our careers are updating in real time, so I feel like I could list all our jobs now, and then by the time this is posted, there are a whole slew of different ones. So I highly recommend that folks just check out our website, rapidsos.com/careers, and you can see our latest and greatest.
Okay, perfect. And Mara also mentioned that if you do hear about if you go to the job and you apply and you mention the podcast specifically, she will definitely take a look at it. So make sure that if you're listening, you mention that because that will increase your chances of getting seen by Mara. So thank you for doing that, Mara.
Absolutely.
So, Mara, the last question for you would be because you've been in this space for quite a while, what is something, according to you, that makes a job candidate stand out when you're actually going through the resume, for instance?
Really good question. And I wish there was this one great answer that applied to everything. But I would say just know the role you're applying to. I can tell when somebody's read the role and when they haven't, because if you're reading what the job description is and you feel you're a strong fit and you give me a cover letter that this happens all the time. I'm applying for XYZ job and it's not even the job title that you're actually applying to. That's not the greatest. So try not to do that, but really think about your value adds. I didn't always work in recruiting. I've had, a plethora of jobs, but even in recruiting, I'm kind of an industry chameleon. I've jumped around. But even with my jobs that weren't recruiting, I tried to tie in recruiting skills within my bullets, within my resume to make it make sense. When I was a project coordinator, I worked with HR. I worked with onboarding our new hires. I made sure to list that. Was that my number one job function? No, but I wanted to show how I progressed, and I made why I wanted to be a recruiter for my first recruiting job make a lot of sense, which is how I landed that job. So just make it make sense, I guess, is the best advice I can give.
No, that's definitely really helpful. And I'm surprised that people usually write a cover letter and they don't even mention the right job name. Wow, okay. I mean, wow. I'm so surprised. But anyways, thank you so much for sharing that, Mara. Our time is up. It was an absolute pleasure having you as a guest, learning about your wonderful company and the work that you're doing. It makes me feel safe that companies out there are definitely taking into consideration the safety of people that are doing their their day-to-day routines, making sure that they are provided with a safe environment. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Absolutely. Thank you.